Hello. Well, how about we refurbish a hammer? I have this big, odd-shaped 10-pound sledge that I found at the local outlet mall a while back, and I think it'd be time to do something cool with it. Now, if you've watched my channel for a little bit now, you know I have a thing for dog head hammers. This is my favorite hammer. I like to forge with it, I like to make gongs with it. It's just a really all-around useful hammer design, I feel like, so I'm gonna make a big one, and quite a heavy one at that. So I have this marked off. I'm probably gonna cut a little bit behind this line, and maybe a little bit in front of this. But we've got the two lines marked out, and that's what we're gonna start off with, is cutting it down some. This is basically what I'm going for in terms of design, and we'll see if we can make it happen. That was something I should have recorded. It was pretty cool. We had this much left connecting it. So what I did was I held onto it real tight and I hit it very hard with a hammer and it broke off. Here's a dramatic reenactment. Boom! Ah! Alright. So here we've got our template for the handle, and here we have the hammerhead filed and ready to go. I didn't take these to like a polish, but I got them nice and smooth at least. So these are going to be our faces, and I will polish them after the hammer is hardened. Any of these like little silvery spots will be covered up by fire scale, so shouldn't be an issue. But it's got a nice heft to it, and let's get us some oak. I apologize for having to go freehand for this, but this is a pretty important point, I feel like. After cutting that big board, I noticed that the grain orientation is going this way, which for a hammer or an axe or anything, honestly, you would want it going in the same direction as the forces, because otherwise the force is likely to split these grains apart. So you'd have a, cracked hammer probably pretty fast. I dug around and I found this piece of what I'm almost certain is oak also, and it has much more desirable grain direction. So this will be a lot stronger going in this direction, and I think also the grain is smaller, which suggests a stronger piece anyway. So here we go. It is finally time to assemble everything. Got the handle with the slot, got the wooden wedge, and then I've got the metal wedge. Now I know that some people say like, oh, you need to put the wooden wedge in this way and then the metal wedge in this way. I've never had a lot of luck with that. I usually split for some reason if I do that, so I'm going to be putting it in this way as well on top of this one. That worked perfectly for my favorite hammer, which is my doghead hammer. I even put a huge one in there, and I have done a whole lot of swinging with this thing and never had an issue, so that should be fine. After I finish the faces on this, that would have been a big mistake. In case anybody wasn't sure, oak is hard. I think I pushed the wedge that's in there down further also. Well, alright, whatever. It feels solid at least. Now we can try it. Sorry to give you all an ugly background, but there's not really much of another way to film this. I have 5% battery left, so I'm just going to explain what I'm going to do. It's just a glue up, you're not missing much. But I'm going to wrap this leather around the top to form a collar. In my experience, I feel like this deadens some of the shock. Maybe it's in my head, I don't know, but any hammer that I've done that to, it seems to work that way. So I have other hammers that actually I bought from the store that have like a rubber collar around the top. They definitely have their shock in the handle deadened, so you know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna get this glued up and then I'm gonna leave it for a couple days. Okay, let's run some just basic little tests without starting the forge. Here's the hammer. It's got good rebound for an 8-pound sledge, give or take. This, that's good. I was wondering if that would make contact or not with the handle, but it's got plenty of room. That's another useful face then. Yeah. Oh, not too bad. Alright. Well, not bad. I'm impressed with it personally. I like the shape. I like the size of it too. This is why I don't completely polish the faces, if you wonder. It's because they get dirty real fast. Yeah. If you like the video, like the build and everything, you can like and subscribe and all that junk. No pressure. And if you'd like to be a part of the next challenge build, every other month I let my patrons over on Patreon vote in a poll. They get to pick one of 2 or one of 3 designs and stuff from either things I find online, things I design myself, and I will make the winning design. Or, you know, the closest I can. Yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, you can check it out. Links in the description, no pressure. And thank you all very much for watching.